What is up everybody, my name is Tonny and I'm here with another Warframe guide video. In this video we'll be looking at the Umbral Mirage Prime Hybrid. And what that means is we'll look at different Warframe abilities that would definitely work with Umbral Mirage Prime. So I got 3 builds for you guys. Okay, so this build is the Hall of Malevolence or the Hall of Mirrors build with the Eclipse, as well as the Null Star for the extra damage reduction. So when it comes to this build, obviously you're going to put some strength and duration in here. No range because it's not needed. And it's best to have negative range for the Null Star, that way you guys retain the damage reduction. And of course with the 45% efficiency, it's not a big deal. You should still be able to cast all 3 of these without any problems whatsoever. When it comes to the mods, however, you guys want to make sure that you guys can replace Augur Message with Constitution if you guys can. Otherwise Augur Message is fine. Due to polarity problems, I can only put the Augur Message here. When it comes to the OR mods, you guys can use Steel Charge if you guys want. If you guys can be doing some melee, or Energy Siphon is also pretty nice, as well as the Corrosive Projection. For the Correction Drift, you guys can put Power Drift on here. For the Arcanes, you guys can use Arcane Fury or Strike, but Arcane Guardian and Energize is pretty nice here. Alright, so this is the second build, and I would say that not many people would like this build. I would say around pretty much 90% of you guys that's watching this will say no to this build. I'm going to say this right now, this build is actually pretty fun to play, and I'm going to tell you guys why. When it comes to the Prism Guard or for the Prism ability, obviously the damage is 457. Don't get fooled by that damage. What happens is it acts like one of those orbs you guys see in the Orokins, where the lasers actually do a shit ton of damage to you and the enemies. That's basically what this prism is. But in this time, if it goes into light, it does more damage than usual. So this is actually pretty nice. But when it comes to the Prism Guard, obviously you get 10 duration. The default usage of this ability is pretty bad because of course it moves very slow. And you can't really control the movement of the prism at all, so it bounces left and right, up and down. With Prism Guard, you can control it by actually having it follow you. And when you guys get that following action going on there, not only does it follow you with increased speed, you guys can go super fast and it will still follow you. Unless of course you go through like walls or something like that. Of course it's not going to work, but when you guys are running really fast, yeah, it's going to follow you. So imagine using this build in Exterminate or Capture. You would destroy everything in your path. It's faster than Ember, it's faster than Saren for sure. I actually competed against Saren when it comes to the most damage it kills. Obviously I win and came out on top. So this is actually a pretty nice build. But let's go over for the mods first though. So when you guys are using this build, you want to make sure you guys got Sprint Boost is a must have. Rush is a must have. Make sure you guys replace Speed Drift with the Natural Talent if you guys are going to commit to this build. Speed Drift is fine, I say, but when it comes to sprint speed and casting speed, it's alright. It doesn't make a big difference. I highly recommend Natural Talent for this instead of Speed Drift. When it comes to the Arcanes, Arcane Energize and Guardians are great here. The mods themselves, all of these are pretty much well done, so I highly recommend keeping these mods in. And when it comes to using this build in any type of situation, I highly recommend using this on any mission that has a lot of enemies. That way you get more benefit out of it. I would say defense is okay, survival is totally fine. I would say interception is fine as well. Actually, you know what? I think it's great in all mission types actually. Now when it comes to Steel Path, it does get the job done. So the ability that I use for this build is Firewalker. Of course, it gives you the extra 25% speed increase as well as the damage per second, which is pretty nice. It's alright. Duration is fine, effect duration is fine, explosive damage is fine. When it comes to the Augment, I don't recommend putting that on. Just straight up, just leave it alone. Firewalker is all you need. Now for the third build. When it comes to this third build, we all are familiar with this build here, and that's the Explosive Ledger Domain, if I say the name right, Ledger Domain, whatever. Anyway, so this build allows you guys to use your 2 and turn all pickups into mines. And what that happens, they do this amount of damage. The radius is pretty huge. Status chance is always 100%, and that is actually pretty nice. Now when it comes to the duration of this, do not worry about that. It's always going to be 60 seconds no matter what. So I have negative duration there. Always 60 seconds. Going over the mods really quick, you guys can use Corrosive Projection. Energy Siphon is not needed, as you guys can always just cast this once and wait 60 seconds and then cast it again. Correction Drift, you guys can replace this with the Power Drift. When it comes to using Energy Conversion, make sure you guys proc this whenever you guys can. And now when it comes to having the trouble of proccing energy, well, don't worry, I've got you guys covered. When it comes to the ability that I replaced, which is my 4, I used Dispensary. Now you guys may be wondering, what the hell, Tonny, come on dude. Okay, just think of it like this, okay? You pick up an energy orb, you get the Arcane Energize proc, you get 225 energy. That's enough for whatever, that's maxed out basically. So if you need to go ahead and proc the energy conversion, well, this is your chance here. So you just cast this whenever you guys don't have energy conversion, get the energy conversion proc, then cast your sleight of hand. You guys can use the Eclipse if you guys want. You guys can also use Hollow Mirrors with this build as well. When it comes to using this build, I don't recommend bringing this on Steel Path. It does do some CC, but not damage, of course. And when it comes to the fissures, it goes from Lift to Axie. Axie does pretty damn well with that. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how the Mirage with the Null Star works. All you gotta do is press your 1, 2, and 3 and start fighting away. Obviously you don't want to get too close to the enemy, otherwise you'll start draining the Null Star orbs. You'll get less damage reduction, but I don't think that matters that much. So when it comes to killing, obviously you'll be killing a lot faster, so it doesn't really matter. But Null Star is just for the extra protection. And there it is, you guys. Alright, so I want to show you guys the second build, and that is the Rush Nuke build. You guys want to use your 2 as much as you guys can, or as soon as you guys can. Then make sure you guys are sprinting. Next, you guys can use your 1 and 3. It's up to you. But mostly the 4 will basically destroy everything quickly. So here's the 4. You guys can run really fast and straight up get as many kills as you guys can, or just kill enemies really quickly. You guys could just roll through the entire levels and just straight up just go in, or just bullet jump. It's up to you. Everyone's dead already. Alright, so I want to show you guys the third build, and that is the second ability using the Augment. Now you guys want to make sure that you get the energy conversion proc. If you guys do not have that, just use your dispensary to get the energy conversion proc as well as energy. Press your 2 when they come by. Of course you gotta kill a lot of enemies first, because remember that you need energy orbs, health orbs, and ammo to be all over the place. Once you guys got that, just press your 2. Now keep in mind these guys are level 50, so they don't really instantly die, but they do take a lot of damage. Now keep in mind they gotta step on these little shiny stuff to take the damage. Once they all die, they're gonna drop the ammo as well as other stuff, and then they're gonna like snowball into big areas. Or you guys could just do another recast. Make sure you guys also proc energy conversion. I didn't proc on that one before, but I think that should be enough to kill a few of these enemies here. So this build is made for most likely fissures. Steel Path, great for CC, otherwise not great for killing. So if you guys do not like Null Star, don't worry. I have other abilities out there that can definitely work with the Hall's build of Mirage. First, or the second pick actually, would be the Elemental Ward for the health, armor, and shield elements, making your Mirage more tankier than ever. And then you got the War Cry, which is great for those that want to do melee only on Mirage. But make sure that you guys get the Augment. Now for those that don't like the first 2, obviously there's other abilities for damage. Norwich for the toxin damage, then you got Smite Infusion for the radiation damage, and then you got Shock Trooper for the electricity damage. Now keep in mind that these act like mods, so they're like the 9th mod slot. So if you only got Voltic Strike on your melee weapon, add Norwich to get that corrosive, or if you guys only got Toxin on your melee weapon, or any other weapon really, then you guys can add the Shock Trooper. For the second build, you guys, obviously Firewalker is the only ability that would definitely work with Prism Guard build here. So for the third build, you guys can just use Dispensary. And that is it for this video, you guys. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you guys do, give it a like, subscribe to support my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you guys, peace out.